Hunter McIntyre.
Dude, you look like you're in one of those kind of rooms where you got kidnapped and you're negotiating with me sending you money because you traveled to the wrong country. Is that where you're at right now?
Hunter, can you get your hands on some Bitcoin? They only accept Bitcoin.
The Nigerian prince.
Did you invest in any crypto, Hunter, during the heyday of crypto a couple years ago?
I did, but I didn't really make enough money. Your device unexpectedly stopped. Can you hear me?
I can hear you and I can see you.
Weird. That's super weird. I didn't invest in anything that made me like that much money. So the girl that I was dating at the time, my brother and I, we were all living in a house in Rhode Island for the summer of like the thick COVID. So much so, like if you walked into that house and didn't have a vaccine, they were panicking. Like it was the worst time of COVID. And the way that we entertained ourselves, because there weren't gyms open, like we just ran outside, jumped in the water. And because my brother is in great.
Okay, you came back. You were frozen. You said because of my brother something. You said because of my brother,
okay.
And then you stopped.
Yeah, my brother was in the hedge fund industry, or is in the hedge fund industry. And basically, it was one of these kind of things where we gave ourselves a certain amount of money everyone could trade, and whoever had the most money by the end of the summer won. And that's where we stopped. I lost.
Got it. Do you know who got really rich, or still might be really rich?
Luca Lorenzoni and Alex Nicholas.
First of all, I knew about Alex. Luca is amazing. I forget I was asking him something about money. Like it wasn't even that big of a deal. It was just like, did you get the extra large or whatever? And Luca goes, Matt, I am very successful. I'm like, I'm aware, Luca. I know you're a very successful man. It's just that thick accent. Talking to him and Camilla, it's so strong. You think it's a joke. Like when I got to this led the pool, you know what I mean? It's so thick.
Yeah. He's an intelligent guy. He's a lot of fun to hang out with. I don't know how well he did, and I'm not speaking about his personal life. I just know that he got in and he wasn't dumb about it. I'll just leave it at that. Like that's all I know. And they're like, right. You know, I'm one of those kind of people that I always really am invested in getting to know the people I spend my time with rather than just like doing high roxes with them. And he and Alex were one of the few people that I met in the industry of, interestingly enough, after being in the space for like 14 years, a lot of people in this space are not that smart, and you find the few, and you just, when you sit down and have a cup of coffee with them, you're like, what's new? Tell me the good stuff. And they always have good stories.
So I watched some of your most recent video from your recent camp. And it's funny because a friend of mine he's just a friend of mine. He's not really in the sport, but he comes to races with me. He was like, why was Hunter at like a shed, like a storage unit? I go, I think that's like one of his home gym setups, and he's always there. But it does look, I didn't realize it looked bizarre to someone that doesn't know you to like roll up a hood and like you're running around. Like, do people come in and they're moving and you're like, excuse me?
All the time. And I don't give a shit. I mean, they don't dislike me. It's just like one of these things where I don't let it bother me. And I did the math in my head. I was like, I could get another house with a garage. I could build a garage, or I could just spend $400 a month and have a storage thing with turf in it and just run down. I have to run for my house, so it forces me to run more. Turn the key, go to fucking war, breathe in some asbestos, and just laugh.
So tell me about this latest camp. I mean, you always have a lot going on. What was this one specifically? Is it just for people in the program, like that are in-house, or was it open?
Yeah, dude. So like it was everyone who was there except for one guy. Every single person who's there has been a client of ours in some regard for a while now. So we just kind of made it like a special camp where, you know, you send people online programs. We're obviously very dedicated to the improvement of them all. But when you're sending people pieces of paper and shit online back and forth, you don't know what the fuck they're up to. And then you meet them face to face, and then you really work with them, and you could tell everything about them. Like, I know so much more about these guys in a couple hours of training every day than months of talking to them online. So in reality, also, it was just a shit ton of fun. Like lots of barbecues, lots of arrow shooting, stump throwing. Like Marshall and I only participated in this. They were all too scared. But if you shot the bow and you had to be really good and you could crack a can of Celsius with it, like fucking pop the thing from 10, 20 yards, 15 yards away, you had to do a naked lap around the house. Like the whole thing was just like, it's just fun. It's summer camp. We don't give a shit. Like we're going to be in shape anyways. You might as well do some crazy shit.
How much time, like you and I have been talking, for a couple of years about you figuring out, wait a minute, I can't just be an athlete here. I need to A, prepare for when I'm not an athlete, and B, just bring myself other streams. So how are you doing with content guy, supplement? What do you call builder? Like, is that supplement? Like, what do you call that end of your business?
For sure. Yeah.
And I know it's really hard to build teams, keep quality people. And obviously you train gazillions of hours a week. Like, how is all of that stuff going? Because you've always had kind of an eye on it the last few years, but now, as you're approaching 40, like, might need to lean on it more.
Dude, I have 7 full-time employees now. Like, it's crazy.
I thought you were going to say 3. 7?
No. It's not, it's like, whatever, man. Like, you can choose to work hard or you can choose to work harder. Like, that's it. Everybody's working hard, per se. And then, I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago, and I was like, hey, listen, man, like, I'm just like in this position where the 2 verticals of my life, business and racing, are growing at such a crazy rate. It's a lot to handle. And he kind of told me about somebody else who had a conversation with him. He's like, dude, you just need to expand. You just need to become a bigger and stronger person because of it. You don't need to back away. You don't need to freak out. You don't need to do this. You don't need to do that. He's like, you just need to be a bigger and better version of yourself. And I was like, fuck it, you're right. I would probably say the same thing to myself, because opportunities, like, almost none of them I'm going to turn down. Like, in the past month, I flew to Europe and I filmed for the feed at UTMB. Then I marked the trail for my ultra marathon that I hosted. Then I hosted an ultra marathon, and then I had a training camp. So that is 4 weeks straight of 4 different jobs. So, and I'm also training full time. So whatever.
Was the person who told you that, was that Donald Trump?
It was.
Hunter, I know you're the best.
Dude, listen, here's the thing. I have had to Rubik's Cube my life, and I'm getting a lot better at spending my time. I would say 2 years ago, I was having a very hard time of juggling business and racing. Now I've gotten a lot better at it. And I had a lot more optimization of my time, physicality, and opportunities in the past 6 months than I did the past 18 months before that. Because
you're clearer on your goals?
I just got really good at separating my time and executing on what I wanted. Like, I'm really good. Like, if you try to call me, like, I notice I've turned down your podcast like 100 times. I don't do podcasts with people anymore. Like, I'm like, I don't have time. I'm going to do my podcast in the morning. I can't do podcasts the rest of the day. I can't take calls. People are calling me to give me sponsorships and stuff. And I was like, why would I go and work for your company and take this deal when I should just give it back to my company? And then when you have 5 masters, you're going to have, you're going to be a bitch to 5 people.
Let's be honest. I think I've asked you a couple of times. I haven't asked you 100 times.
I'm collectively bringing in other people.
I know. Listen, and I'm very conscious of that. And, we've known each other a long time. And, even in like Chicago, like, you and I just caught up, like, no business at all. Right. And we just caught up. And I did want to say, like, oh, do you want to talk about this big thing that just happened? And then the next day we were talking about it, and I think I asked you, and then immediately felt bad because, again, I know how much people are pulling you for your time. Like, and I do have a job to do. This is what I do. I give people content. And you know what, dude? Because the level of Hyrox is so much higher than Spartan ever was, it has made my job very difficult. Like, the night before Vermont Beast or whatever, I could still pull you or Atkins aside and be like, hey, let's shoot the shit. I'll meet you at the thing. And High Rocks majors and world champs, you guys are all in your rooms. Nobody's meeting me for a coffee. Like, the level of focus and stakes seem to be in, like, you can't even quantify how much higher.
It doesn't feel that different, to be honest, to me, but I get the level of perceived professionalism intensity.
You don't think that the guys, I mean, you've been at a different level than a lot of these folks because you were able to get deals that they couldn't get. But again, like, the fact that people have come in and, first of all, High Rocks wants you for, what do you call it? High Rocks and or sponsors are like, hey,
6 hours a day, the 2 days leading up to the championship.
You're going to do a shakeout run with this sponsor. You're going to come and do the photo shoot with the new gear. Like, it's just, like I said, once upon a time, that was not an issue with OCR.
Yeah, I think it's just a different game, but it doesn't feel that different. It's weird. It's a different game. I also just think because everybody considers themselves to be a brand now, that's why there's a difference. Everybody thinks that they're really important.
Why would I go? They all think it's the way you think, even though they might not be at the same level. Like, why would I go on your show when I have my own show?
Yeah, I just say, I don't know what their independent reasons are, but it is very interesting how everybody is a brand now. That just wasn't a thing before. Like, I think I was the first person in OCR to try to do something like biceps and races as like a motto and things like that. It just wasn't a thing. And now everybody has to be something. Even the person who's like the 75th age grouper in their category has a brand.
Correct. I will say that I think even not 5 years ago, maybe 7, I think I reached out to you and I was like, hey, why aren't you like selling shirts that say bicep win races on them? Would you want to do something together? And we talked about it for like 1 second and then I never did anything with it. But I noticed you did trademark it not too long ago because I did look.
Yeah. I think I have trademarks on like
right. So biceps win races. What else?
Which is builder, house. Like, we just own things that we just own things that like technically are entities of our businesses, and like nothing needs to be that entirely safe, but it's kind of stupid. Like, the only reason why I do these kind of things, like, if you go on Amazon right now, let's just see, there's some fuckhead selling biceps from races.
Okay.
Pillows.
Do you send him a cease and desist or have your people do that?
They don't answer. It's ridiculous. And we sent it to Amazon too.
Right. Well, think about how Nike feels and Prada and all these fucking brands that get ripped off. Let's just see what happens when I type it in.
Well, I can't remember when last time we saw it. Oh yeah, look at this. They got phone cases. They have shirts.
Okay. Well, this one says build.
I don't know.
These 3 say builder, right? But then this top left one I think is not you, right?
No. Go to Amazon.
This one says Amazon.
Go to Amazon. Like,
Funny OCR / racing. Yeah, that's the one that's not you. It's just a straight black hoodie.
Yeah. We've sent them letters, but it's like, whatever, dude. Like, go fucking have 3 people a month buy your shirt. Good for you. Oh, look at this. They have back of the phone cases. You can get a tote bag. You can get a pillow you can sleep on. I mean, this is a fucking solid business. I should get these things.
I mean, look.
Oh, wait a second. This guy's got 1 star on here. He fucked up bad. Way to blow up my brand.
Well, I think people know the difference. I mean,
oh, wait a second. This person's their note, Aaron and Parker, they said that this product is a scam. They're cheap knockoff items of the trademark brand. Don't buy. Yeet.
Whose headphones are you wearing?
I don't know, dude. Like, this is actually pretty cool. Like, we have a whole setup in here where this section is like the live stream studio, and then right over there is like a podcast face-to-face studio.
Is this the Malibu mansion? Which one is this? I can't keep up with your properties.
Are we losing service?
I hear
again?
you fine. I said, is this Malibu? Where am I reaching you? But didn't you lose something in a fire? Okay.
Nope. I lost a lot of time and money. Money meaning like every single time. It's actually not the fire that fucked up my life this year. It's the power outages. So starting in November, they like just start killing the power probably 10 days out of the month.
Just to save money?
Yeah. No, dude. It's just because I somewhat get where they're coming from. The infrastructure that they have is just not designed to protect itself from fires, and they're not going to rebuild it because it's too expensive. The winds come, something knocks it down, it starts a fire, then they get sued. They've now been sued multiple times. Now they're just like, hey guys, just to make sure that there's no risk here, anytime the wind comes up, we're shutting down the power.
How many generators do you have then?
We have multiple, but we didn't. This is all new stuff. The now is like was way beyond what we would have ever thought they did. Like I think that was in 60 days time, the power was off for 24 days. So to me, I'm just like, now we have a whole new power grid coming in where we have generators, battery packs, things like that. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I thought when you went to San Diego, it was because you actually lost. I thought you actually like got burned down.
In 2018, my motorcycle burnt down in the fire, but nothing's burnt down ever since.
Do you ride motorcycles still?
No, I quit that shit, dude. I think at this point in my life, riding bicycles fast is enough of a high. And I even crashed my bicycle pretty hard last year. So running's, I guess, my high now. I throw axes and shoot bow and arrows and play paintball. Like that's where I get my thrills.
So all right. So talk to me about this this endurance freak thing. Talk to me about the feed trip.
I mean, it's pretty cool, dude. The feed has been like a really, you can see the hat in the background. The feed has been a really good partner for selling Builder, and they are really invested in getting into this space, like where they've already dominated triathlon, they've dominated marathoning and, you know, all kind of endurance sports. Now they're trying to get more into this hybrid space. But usually what I sit down with brands and say is like, hey, listen, guys, like I don't want to just be a square with your brand on it. Like I would really like to do things where I will work harder to keep the same deal, but like I want to go do something that's quality, something that's like really going to make an imprint and create value. So I came up with this concept of this show called Endurance Freaks, where I go around with this guy named Daniel. We did the Western States, then we did UTMB. Then we're going to keep on like all season long. We'll go out and film these shows where we go to larger places that they have athletes at. And we do a couple interviews with their athletes. And then we go around and kind of get into the whole culture and experience of the event. So it's kind of like Boundless, but I don't do the events. I am experiencing the events. And UTMB is by far the most, dude, I'm telling you right now, it makes, if you took the Boston Marathon, High Rocks World Championships, and Spartan Race World Championships all combined with all of the financial interests and all of their intentions of trying to have like really cool event experiences, they'd still be about 50% behind. Like the amount of millions of dollars and the amount of like obsession with the activations inside of this from Hoka, Nike ACG, Satisfy, like all of these incredibly bona fide brands is insane.
So they can be a little gatekeepy, the trail and ultra folks. Did they welcome you or they, who's this bro?
Well, I intentionally wear the weirdest outfits I possibly can. So it's very eye grabbing, but people know who I am. And that opens up a door. So it's not just like this weird guy. And then I tend to make a lot of fun out of it. So I haven't had any really bad kickback. I will tell you that Western States was weird in comparison to UTMB. UTMB felt like a party. Western States felt like a library. Like, you know, when you walk into a library, they're like, shh, shh. Western States, I'm not going to lie. Like as a competition, it's insanely competitive. As an experience, it blows. They do such a bad job at making the experience for the people enjoying it, witnessing it, participating it, supporting it, that like I will never go back unless I'm a runner.
Do you follow your boy Scott Jurek account?
I saw Scott Jurek.
There's an account called Your Boy Scott Jurek, and he just like people love to do the meme page thing. It can be pretty low hanging fruit. His shit, it's next level. So I'll send you some stuff. It's amazing.
Well, Scott Jurek now, I'm going to lie, Scott, I am a humongous fan. I think you're incredibly talented. He's got a pot belly now.
Listen, I'm a Scott Jurek fan. It was like a dream. I got to interview him through Spartan because they threw him a few bucks for Spartan Trail. But this guy, basically, his concept is like just shitting on the people who worship Scott and these other, and just anyway, just the whole, how it is, how ridiculous that scene can be. So, I mean, he did a whole thing. I mean, I can even show you on here. He did a DNF UTMB hotline. You'll love this. I'm gonna have to show you this right now. Hang on. I know
I'm not gonna lie. The ultra marathon community are creeps. They're like vampires. They look like vampires. They're spindly little people they don't really like to talk. You're like, hey, how are you? And they're like that's the kind of thing that they do when you walk up to them. You're like, Christ almighty, get some sunshine and have a lollipop or something.
I gotta find this hotline, dude. It was fucking amazing.
Hopefully I break down some walls with those guys.
Okay, here we go. Ready for the DNF hotline?
Yeah, let's go.
2025 UTMB DNF Help Hotline. What's your Citra Emerge? This is Kyle speaking. And by the way, this is the last call of the race, so make it quick, buddy. Is this Hayden? Hayden Hawk. Is that you? Buddy, everyone's been wondering about you. How are you doing out there? No one's come and grabbed you yet. No copter, nothing? Oh, that's weird. Well, unfortunately, since we're about to close, I can't get a copter out there for you anymore, buddy, okay? But I can't get a David Goggin book out there for you either to help you push through. Sorry. But what I can do for you is sing you a nice, soothing song. Okay?
This is brilliant content. Dude. I appreciate people that go above and beyond.
No, I'm telling you. I followed him when he had barely started, and we were messaging back and forth, and I showed him a picture that I'd met Scott Jurek, and he was so impressed. And I was trying to get him on the podcast. And now he's blown way up and won't come on my show. But no, dude, if you follow, I mean, I don't even get some of the jokes because it's so in, but a lot of it is just like shitting on runners. It's really good stuff. Where were we, Hunter? What were we talking about?
The UTMB feed thing.
Yeah. So, so how much of a difference has having Snorri help in the last couple of years?
I mean, Snorri's one of these kind of guys where like, he will just not stop. And he also like believes in success the way that I do. Like when we worked together, I was like, listen, man, like I'm not really into partnerships anymore. Like we got to do something of value. And he just like gets it. Like I do really appreciate that. Like he doesn't want me to do deals. He wants me to make partnerships. And that's been very, very helpful. And like, I think what we did with Puma has been kind of groundbreaking for this space, and the things that we've been able to continue to do with Puma that's not just high rocks based is pretty crazy. And like, I'm really grateful for my relationship with them. Snorri like gets me also. He knows that like whatever happens, like it's part of the puzzle. It's not like that, whatever happened that day, it's just part of the story. It's not the whole thing. And we've like worked really hard on that. I think a lot of people, like after what happened at World Championships, like there was the success of individuals, and then a lot of people would panic about what happened the next day. But we were just like, this is just part of the story, and we rolled with it. We were great. And it takes a while to build a relationship with somebody like that, because like even like my modeling manager, who ended up being my manager for a while, he knew me before I knew myself. He's like, dude, you're never going to be a good model. You're just too much. And I was like, okay, what do we do now? He's like, well, what do you want to do? And he helped me out a lot. And like I've had two people like that in the 16 years of being in the entertainment industry, is what we'll call it, that have understood me. Snorri being one of them. Like I had some really dog shit agents for a while, and you know who I'm talking about if you're watching this show. So
listen, finding like, people to work with is so valuable. And I think I said this to you when we talked off the record, but again, what my history has taught me is I don't think there's anything more valuable than someone trying to put you over. as we say in the wrestling business, somebody that's willing to make that call and say, hey, you should work with my friend so-and-so. And, I thought about that, and like, you're one of those guys for me. You introduced me to High Rocks, right? You don't have to do that. And so I try to pay that forward as much as possible. I'm working with these Lifetime guys because Jared, the DECA guy, was nice enough to refer me to the guy Wes who works for Lifetime. And so it's like, that's the best thing you can do for a person. You know what I mean? And it's just to do like a selfless act. And I just feel like, to me, like, that's what like friendship really is like, is somebody willing to say, because some people who ask for something and I'm like, I'm not fucking referring that person. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way. And you just kind of, hey, I don't know, whatever. And then there's other people that I would love to do that for. And, of course, I thought, like, we were talking about Lifetime and I was like, oh, why aren't you doing that? And you're like, oh, we actually tried, whatever, blah, blah, blah. My point is that, like, at this age of my life, other than my family, like, I care about the people who've bothered to, like, care for me.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting, dude. Like, I was just at Wadapalooza. Do you know what that is? The West Coast one? Okay. Well, so the West Coast one, I was just there, and there are people that I have been seeing for 15 years in the same place over and over again. Some of them have been great working relationships. Other of them I hate. But at the same time, of those people that were the great working relationships, like, it just feels so good. Doesn't matter, like, if you feel lost in the crowd, if you're standing next to that person, you're like, dude, I've been standing next to you for 15 years. And somehow we will bridge the gap into the next chunk of the industry together. And all it takes is like a phone call, a moment, a suggestion, an introduction, a handshake. And it's true. It's very, very true. That being said, you also got to be really careful whose toes you step on. So it's interesting though. Like, I have been in this space such a long time, with you included. Remember that goofball that tried to grease us up at the Atlanta Braves game that one time? What was his name?
Sam.
Hey, man. Hey. OCR is the next thing, man. Come on.
Honestly,
God, that was a creepy experience.
He wasn't, to me, as bad as the whatchamacallit, the guys that really tried to fleece you guys. That guy Sam had money and was full of shit. Don't sue us, Sam, if you're listening. But it was like the creepy guy, what's his name's husband, like that kind of guy that I tell Bracken and all these guys, like, this guy's bad news. Like, no, he's going to be good for these reasons. And I'm like, no, I can tell you he's a creep and it's not going to work out good. And then sure enough, it goes tits up.
Biggest creep by far is the guy, Ian, USOCR, whatever the hell it's called. Yeah. Bad News Bears. And Watson took the dog out in the back and shot it in the head. Watson destroyed the competitive OCR industry single-handedly.
I'm going to say that at one point I would think that was true, but honestly, if you look at what's been done since, it's worse. Like, he did care about it. I don't think there's anybody like the Spartan that cares to the degree that he did, at least.
No. What he did, dude, you understand in this space, it's so much about relationships. He destroyed relationships with almost every single professional. Like, you've seen the stuff that Nicole Miracle is posting all over the internet now, which I don't think is super tasteful. But in my mind, dude, you have to be really careful on cultivating those relationships, because all it does, dude, let's just say you and I get in a fight. And I'm just like, guys, Matt B. Davis is such, like, behind your back, like in closed rooms and things like that. I'm like, he is such a piece of shit. Do not talk to him. He is only going to make your life more difficult. Do not get on his podcast. And it will just slowly work its way through the industry to the point where everybody doesn't trust you. And next thing you know, that door is closed. And then every single time, no matter how good your intentions are, once you knock at the door, it is double bolted, latched, whatever the heck it is. And he did that. He killed OCR professionals.
You're saying he did that to you specifically?
Myself, Robert Killian, Ryan Atkins. You can call right now. I wish I would put him on speaker, but it would be not the right thing to do. I've spoken with them all. We all just hated the guy in the end because he was such a greasy weasel.
Who did he say don't work with? Who did he say that to? I just thought you meant what they did with the 3K and all that shit.
No. It was the way that he tried it. So I got a phone call 2019. This is where it all started to fall apart for me. 2019, I'm sitting in my place in Boulder, folding my laundry, whatever the hell I'm doing in my little paper mache house. He calls me up. He's like, Hunter, I want to get you back into, obstacle course racing. I want to give you this great deal. I was out. Like, I hadn't done Spartan racing in about 2 years by then. I think it was maybe I was going into the CrossFit games, and then shortly there afterwards, transitioning over into High Rocks. He was trying to bring me back in to the fold on OCR. He slid this piece of paperwork. He's like, I want to take care of you, all this kind of stuff. I was like, listen, man, I'm not really interested. He's like, no, I have such a good deal for you. Now you have to understand, I was the first ever sponsored Spartan race athlete professionally, monetarily. And I had my own travel budget. I had a monetary budget.
What about a certain gentleman named Hobie Call?
He wasn't sponsored though. We had
Did Joe buy you a TV?
I don't know if that's sponsorship. I think that's more of an affiliation bonus. But dude, that was back in the day for what it was something. It wasn't substantial, but it was something that at least brought you into the game. There was some money, there were some bonuses, there were things like that. I had an Agency account where I could book tickets and flights and cars and things like that. And I was freaking 24 years old. I messed that system up bad. But the point is, 5 years later, this guy slides a piece of paperwork across to me. It was terrible. And he's like, listen, man, this is the best deal that I can give you, blah, 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 blah. I was like, oh, okay. So then I call all the other guys and I'm like, tell me about your contract. And we all are sharing contracts. And this guy is he's just lying to all of us about what's going on and all this kind of stuff. And I was like, David, you don't think, I just got back on the phone and I was like, you don't think that we all talk to each other, David? Are you that kind of guy? You think that you showing up within 3 months is going to outwork relationships I've been building for a decade? I was like, you're dumb. And from that point on, it just was this fracturing of trust. And from there, people were still chasing paychecks and wanted to race professionally, whatever your instance and representation was. I was already out, but then all of a sudden you watch just year after year, it just got a little bit worse, to the point now where you could show up to a Spartan race and it might as well be like when a child lifts up a stump and sees all the little cockroaches roll out. That's all that's left of the start line now. It used to be where you'd show up at a start line and it would be hundreds of men back. And now it's you could spin in a circle at the starting line, not hit one person.
As a guy who now has seen both sides, because this is a conversation that comes up a lot. Spartans spent too much on the pros. Now they don't spend anything. Where do you see that? Obviously not just for yourself, but if you had an agency, right? How much is it worth if I'm High Rocks or any brand and I'm trying to attract the masses? How much should I invest in the pro side? Because they sort of the tip of the spear, aspirational, right? Or they're the people that there's people that show up to race, don't know who Hobie is, don't know who you are, don't know who Atkins is, right?
Well, what Spartan Race did, which was not that smart, which I understand was necessary at the time. And I used to talk to Joe about this all the time. And this is where I believe he made the mistake and the difference between High Rocks did. And I'm not saying High Rocks is perfect, but I think they're doing a better job. They own all the media, their YouTube channel, their network, their production team, their sponsorship list, their distribution channels. They own everything down. Spartan Race took the same exact thing, sold it to CBS, NBC, ESPN. And what it did was you can type in Spartan Race now and you can barely see what the hell we did. These things are living in perpetuity where they have these this piece of content that will last forever and continue to get hits. Some of my videos have that I did 2 years ago are up to almost 500,000 views because it just grows and becomes this financial growth piece and also this continuous marketing piece what they continually own. And then what you can do is you can go to sponsors and say, hey, listen, this is our show. We own the production. We own everything. And we can put you in like this. And then obviously it's just a mathematics game at that point. Let's say you make $1 million off of advertising per se, and 70% of it goes into production. You could literally leave 10 to 20% of that to cash prize and then still keep 10 to 20%. And like for them, they don't really need, like they're making so much money off of ticket sales. They don't really need to make us the financial interest, but they can use us as flag bearers.
How much should the High Rocks World Championship be worth?
For
like,
what?
Should it be what CrossFit is?
Oh, dude, it's a joke. I mean, in my opinion, and I'm not shitting on High Rocks, whatever, dude, do whatever the fuck you want. I'm going to race for whatever amount of money you put out there just because I like to beat people. But I just went to Wadapalooza this weekend, and every single one of the people on the team of 4 got paid $20,000. Well, not for appearance, for winning. And that's Wadapalooza. And let me tell you, dude, it was dead. It was dead. Like the bleachers, dude, they were like 6 to 10 bleachers tall. The first 2 rows weren't even full. Like it was dead.
Okay. Even with like the height, like
even when the pros were
the last couple of events, yeah, you got Daniel Brandon and all them out there.
Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, maybe in the very, very last events, dude. But I'm just telling you, it's not like what we had. It's not these roars. Like you remember the roars that were happening when I was doing the wall balls at the end versus Tim? But
I thought I was going to have a heart attack. He dropped it again.
Yeah.
You know, or also when fucking Sinead fucking ran with those kettlebells. I mean, it was like, ah!
Yeah, but it's not like that at all. And I don't know, man. Like I don't have a calculator out. I don't know their personal financial interest, but I will tell you that our budget for what we do is extremely low for the value that we bring per se. But that's why I don't try to depend on it, because it's a stupid game to get angry at them for not like biting the hand that feeds you. I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to get it elsewhere. And anybody who's going to sit here and cry, don't be dumb. Go get it elsewhere.
Right. But that's the thing is you're as they say, a unicorn hunter. I know you're a bulk pony, but you really are. So whatever you think of yourself, you're a one of one, they say, right? Like coming up, like everybody wants to have their own stupid fucking hashtag, right? From elite athletes to, like you said, the 75th guy. So there's a reason biceps win races took off. So getting back to what I was saying. So you think like if they came out and said, all right, first prize, we're not joking, $300,000, that would be like, oh, okay, now we're talking.
Well, dude, like if I just like, so I'm sure you see that I do this little show called Jock Talk.
You just talk shit about whatever.
And I talk shit about whatever, but I do research all these sports, and then I look at the amount of money that these like fucking asinine sports get paid, and it's crazy. It's crazy how little money we make for what we provide. And as I said, I'm not angry. I'm just saying apples to apples. It's bullshit.
Do you think they would say, hey, listen, we know that, but we're still in growth mode? I mean, I don't mean the Joe DeSena who's always crying poor, just like, hey, we're really building this thing. We're opening a new country every day, all this expense. And in 2-3 years, it'll be that. I don't know that that's what they've said, but that's what they could say.
I've been friends with Christian ever since the start, and he's been saying the same thing, and it's never changed. Right. I mean, like, I in my mind, I guess it's much higher. It's 10 times higher than when I got started, which is great, and I'm not complaining, but I just don't. If you're asking me honestly, like, oh, we're just working so hard, we don't have the wedge. I think they have the wedge. Okay, so let's just look at this. So I'm still owed prize money, and they made me pay for that professional license thing. And it was my argument. I was like, why should I have to pay for a professional license from next year when you haven't paid?
I thought you did get caught up, by the way, because we talked about this. I thought you did get caught up.
I'm not here to talk about financials right now. But my point is that kind of stuff.
Right.
That kind of stuff I don't get. If you're going to put poker chips on the table, don't say that when I leave the poker table that it's going to take 3 to 4 months for these chips to all of a sudden
I can see someone I can see how if it were me, I would say, I saw this thing that came out, but I kind of would have expected you guys to be like, by the way, we've covered that for you this year because we know we still owe you. So here's your license. Like that might have been a good, like that would have made you feel good, right?
And they were also extremely pressing on the time that I had to get that done. But Now, I come from the industry when I used to do modeling. We would do a job, even if it paid fucking $50, I wouldn't get the money for 90 days. So I've been used to just this dog shit version of invoicing for forever. So it's one of these kind of things where unless you're in the business of robbing banks, you don't get cash the day you do the job.
Hardly ever. I've worked with large companies and tiny companies, and I've had equal issue with both. Always get a deposit. That's what I say to anybody who's invoicing. Race winning is a different thing. You can't really get a deposit, but any services you provide to anyone who's listening at any rate, I just had to convince my wife to raise her personal training rates. I'm so stoked because for those listening, like, not really a good idea to tell your wife what she should be doing. And she's done great. She got her NASM like less than a year ago, and she hasn't been charging enough. And I'm like, honey, you can charge more. I don't know. And she finally got busy enough that I'm like, you know what you have to do now? Like, you have to. You can't possibly grow if you don't. Anyhow, back to what I was saying. I'm thrilled for her, by the way. A, because she feels great about herself. B, more money coming in for me. I see you're drinking. Is that Celsius? I can't believe you drink anything that's not your own product.
Do you know what's crazy? Everybody I know drinks this, and I'm not promoting it. I'm telling you the truth. So when they presented the contract to me, I was like, I do like Celsius. I do like energy drinks. Like, I'm just not one of these kind of guys that thinks like, oh, they're bad for your health. I don't give a shit. But I had this resounding like, please, Hunter, sign with Celsius, because my cameraman, my team, my dad, my brother, they all chug Celsius. Everybody does. And I'm just like, you know what? That'd be really fun. Like, I took the refrigerator they gifted me. They gave me an extra refrigerator for like, promotion. I gifted it to my camera guy because now he's so obsessed with Celsius. He has a Celsius fridge in his house. Like, it's just like silly things like that. So it was very cool.
So even if Ghost came to you and like doubled the deal, you'd be like, no, I'm Celsius, baby.
For now, yeah. I mean, I don't really have any reason to go to Ghost. I have zero affiliation, but I think the Celsius thing makes the team happy. They're drinking them all the time. My house is basically like a ramsack house. Like, people come over and they ramsack the drawers and take whatever the hell they want. So it makes them happy when Celsius is there, to be honest.
You know what I like? Speaking of builder, what's the red one?
This one?
Yes. What is that one called?
This is Hydro. You want me to send you some?
I would love some. Your gal was nice enough to send me a couple, but I think I'm out. And I gotta say that I pound that shit. It is delicious.
Just ask for it. We'll send it to you.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
I won't say no.
Yeah, dude, like so we're really excited. And by the Hybricon games, our cans should be out. So we will have hydration cans. Yeah.
How hard is that to do?
It's not easy, but at the same time, it's relationships. I got great relationships, and it's really cool. Like, we're starting here, and our goal is to climb like really big time in the way that we like. So like the way I set up the company was tier 1, tier 2, tier 3. So tier 1 is products that every single athlete should take every single day. That's our hydration product, our creatine product, our carb product, our pre-workout product. Like, if you're cranking, you're doing sports like this is non-negotiable. Tier 2 is more like lifestyle, like sleep aids, like vitamins, things like that. It's not my favorite thing, but people really do like them and value them. Tier 3 was like everywhere, everyday support, meaning like, so I'll give you an example. We did this tour around the country and we were going to gas stations everywhere for food. Dude, if there's 500 products in a gas station, I'm left with maybe 3 to 5 options of what I can have. Like, it's such shit of what you can get in gas stations. So I was like, man, I'm on the move so much. I really do want to make an opportunity for people when they travel. They're just like, okay, I know I can at least trust this brand. So that's our tier 3, and that's where we start with cans.
So gas stations, Walmarts, like the whole deal.
Yes, we'll basically start with distribution in a couple grocery stores. It's our goal to get into gas stations, and we'll have a bunch of gyms.
Because when you like a couple years ago when you kind of leaned into content more, it was like, oh, well, Hunter, like I think like Nick Bear would be like the way you would go. Like, does that kind of where you see that?
Yeah. I like what Nick Bear's done. Like, I got to salute the guy for working so hard, but I just have a little bit of a different affiliation with the process. Like I really like the athlete lifestyle thing. Like we're trying to pull this off. This is not 100%. I'm not telling the location, but we're going to do what's called like a summer training camp, like summer's camp, where everyone shows up to a very, very high level location. They're all given like track and field outfits, and they get to have like the weekend as if they were going back to college when they were starting like their first week of training camp as an athlete. Like I want people to feel very athletic, very much like.
Could I even show up to something like that? Like if I paid, could I?
100%. Yeah. It's not like you have to be an Olympian or Olympic trials athlete. It's just meant to feel like that vibe again. We want every single time you grab our products to feel like that. Nick Bear's definitely like his motto is go one more. He's a journeyman is what I call him. He's somebody who's along for the journey, the process, the experience, the story. We in our own version of vanity is excellence, like the athletic lifestyle of like pursuing greatness. So we want athletes to feel like that every sip of the way, every scoop of the way.
Look at you. That's like fucking Shark Tank pitch right there.
Yeah. I believe in it. I fucking worked my dick off.
I think that's a good place to wrap up. I guess quickly, we got a few more minutes. Tell me about the Crest Hooch 127.
Dude, that was great. You know what's so sad? And I feel almost rude the way I was when I was younger. Joe DeSena, when I first met him, was like, you know what? People just need to do more yard work and grunt and groan and be out there getting all dirty and crawl on their hands and knees. I was like, Joe, this stuff is so stupid. Like, shut up. I don't want to hear about it. Like, I don't want to do yard work. I'm an athlete. Now, 15 years later, I'm like, shit, man, you were right. Sometimes people just need to get out of their own way, get out of their own head, get out of this perfection, this test tube, petri dish type lifestyle of just weakness and vanity and living inside of a square every single day on some kind of grid as a representation of who they are and what they believe in. And they just need to get raw. And that's what Spartan Race used to be at one point, the death race, and then the transition into the Spartan Race to get more people off the couch, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just so sick and tired of this endurance world and world that I've been living in. I was like, I want to create a race again that is really bare bones, really gritty, a bit spooky, a little off the beaten path. And it's very community based because you have a team of 4. You have to move 120 miles across the PCT into like through the mountains where I live. And not a lot of it is 100% polished and also marked. You have to figure out your own way. You have to have a little bit of navigation skills. You have to have communication skills. You have to have a little extra grit. A couple people got lost. The park rangers were called type shit. Like it was rough and tumble and rad. And it was a humongous
So how many
success.
got to do it? I know you were keeping it small this first one. And tell us who came that like we okay.
9 teams. Probably an extra like 30 plus people supporting. Probably about 4 different countries that came. And like Chris Groglowski, Austin Azar, like they were on one team. There was another team out of San Diego with a 2:16 marathoner on their team. Like there were Cole Schwartz was there. George Edwards was there. Kyle Kokonos was there. Joseph Newgarden, my friend, who's the IndyCar racer, was there.
Faith.
Chris Griffith, who's one of the biggest podcasters. Faith was there, yeah. Like people that I had, because if I didn't know them, then I couldn't necessarily trust them. But it was tough. It was really, really tough. And like people's headlights died in the middle of the night and they were stuck on the trail until the sun rose type thing. It was crazy. But
so will you do the bigger version?
I don't know if it's ever going to be bigger. Like if we had 9 teams, I may double to triple that. Because the reality is, dude, it's like in my mind, I want it to be a certain size so that you have the potential of having a conversation. Hello. Yo, Whoa.
You have a conversation.
Whoa.
You wanted it to be to where
What's
you could
up?
have a conversation with the person. That's what you were saying.
I wanted to be at the point where you could potentially have a conversation with every single person that participated. At least get a couple minutes with them. I don't want it to be so big where there's like a level of disconnection. And I want it to be hard. I want it to be rugged. And a lot of the places that you need to get to actually do the race, if we had more than 20 cars there, you couldn't handle it.
So is it relay style? What do the teams of 4 do?
The first team, section 1, I did 32 miles to do my first section. The teams are like driving through the mountains to get to you at like mile 10 and give you some aid. And then they're meeting you at mile 16. Then they're meeting you at mile 22, then 28. And they're like rushing through the mountains to get you more stuff because it took me 6 hours to do my leg. And like, you don't want to be carrying like, you know, a humongous pack of shit on your back. So people are rushing to help each other out. As soon as you switch partners, the next partner's onto the next section. That section 2, there was no aid possible for 30 plus miles. So we had to rush to the other side and make sure that person, when they got off the trail, were like fed and taken care of. Like Joseph was shaking when he got off the trail. So we had to rush him home and get him into bed.
F1 champion Joseph Newgarden.
I mean, dude, to be honest, Joseph had never done more than a half marathon. And to bump up to 30 miles in the pitch dark, like, that's insane. The dude had some real guts.
Right. But that's what you got. Like, we call that a gamer, right? That's the kind of thing that's like you, right? Like, if you showed up somewhere and they're like, hey, Hunter, this thing you've never done before, we're going to throw you in like to the deep end. You'd be like, all right. So, all right, good on him.
He impressed me more than anybody because he's a prima donna. He loves things to be calm, cool, collected, and clean. He likes it to be polished. And I love giving him shit for it. But I mean, he fucking rose to the occasion. He went through section 2, which I call the barbed wire maze. It's so entangled and sharp and nasty and in the dark. Dude, like, it is insane. To get through that section and smile on the other side, you got a pair of beans. So
what was the fastest team and what was the slowest team?
21-21 was the fastest team. That's Chris Gruglowski's team with Azar and a couple of these other guys. Really, really strong. I can't remember the name of the other guy. He's like a North American champion for Spartan Race. I don't know his name. He's out of Seattle. I've fucking screwed this up. Maybe Christian. Really fast kid.
Okay.
They crushed it. They were flying. Chris was amazing. Austin was. The whole team was. They were really quick. I think they won like every leg, by the way. And we took second place. And then that's because Chris was fucking lazy. My teammate, Chris, he was videotaping himself the whole time. And the last place team took 28 hours and 4 minutes. They didn't technically finish.
So what was the cutoff?
28 hours.
Okay. I don't think that's not bad though, still, right?
No. It's not bad. Like, everybody made their way through. Like, it was crazy. It's definitely happening again. This is like, next we have the Hypercon games. Like, I'm definitely in the event design space now. Like, that is the next really exciting thing. Media and events, and obviously my company's on the side, but media and events keeps me energetic and like vivacious towards life.
All right. Well, listen, I know you got a hard stop, as we say in the business. So thank you for doing this. I will not see you in Hamburg, right? You're skipping that one?
Not going to Hamburg. I'll see you in Melbourne.
Okay. I will not be in Melbourne, but you will see everyone else.
You going to Melbourne?
No, I'm going to.
You going to Melbourne?
I'm not. I've yet to make it all the way over there. I will at some point. Dude, it's a lot. I'm gone almost the entire month of October. So it's tough, dude. It's tough.
You should go, dude. If you think the United States, I'll just be honest, sucks when it comes to high rocks. The people don't care. They don't have that buzz and pizzazz. You go to Australia and the UK, it's crazy.
I went to Glasgow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the people here in the United States, they're asleep. I think the thing is because everybody here in the United States thinks they're too cool to be excited about other people. In Australia and the UK, they don't give a shit. They're just
I just feel like we're still behind. I feel like it's coming.
I don't know. Everyone feels like they're asleep here. They show up, they run the race. Dude, the UK ones and the Australia ones, it's like an earthquake in the room. It's so much energy that it's intimidating.
Did you see what they just announced? 9-day event. 9-day event.
Where? In the UK?
Yes. Mo kept talking about his dream was a week-long event. He decided to outdo himself. Hyrox London Olympia 2026 to be a 9-day event.
That's exhausting.
You don't have any feed or Puma responsibilities. They don't want you to show up in Hamburg and just hang out and shake hands.
Germans are too sleepy, dude. Why waste the time?
Okay.
If
Phoenix,
you want to
Phoenix, DC?
Yeah, I'm gonna be in Phoenix, dude. I'm gonna be in Phoenix.
DC?
I don't know.
We be DC?
I don't know.
Oh, well, DC is only
DC's
if you don't win Phoenix, right? Then you don't have to do it.
I mean, if I win Melbourne or come top 3 in Melbourne, like if you come top 3 in any major, you're in.
Right. And so then you'll just chill the rest of the season. You're not going to throw in a tune-up?
I don't know. I think you got to be really careful with these things because unless you show up and want to fuck shit up, then you shouldn't show up. Like, I'm definitely not excited by October, but December? Oh, yeah.
Okay. Really last question. What about doubles?
I'm racing doubles with Jake and the good old power bottom down in Dallas.
Jake Dearden? Or Jake Williamson? Oh, the power bottom.
Jake Williamson.
Oh,
Jake
my God.
Williamson, dude.
That guy's handsome. I mean, listen, you were pretty good looking in your day, but Jake was
He's
handsome.
the man, dude.
All right, dude, I'm going to stop recording.